Hello everyone, welcome back to Guest the Guest. We're on episode 8, and in last episode we had a really interesting build. We had a really quick mage drop, 5 mages in the airship, destroying mineral lines, destroying a whole bunch of archers. It was a really clean game, and I thought it was Jay, and we'll see if I'm correct. And indeed I was. Oh, that's amazing. That brings me to 2 correct guesses, which is not bad, but we'll get another one this time around. And let's hop right into it. All right, Ravaged. We're gonna be looking at in the top left-hand corner for the red player playing on Ravaged against Ensiferal. I have no idea who this person is, but with a name like that, kind of similar to Cyril, I'd say maybe he's good. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We'll see. Let's just skip past a little bit. Standard house openings into. Ooh, this is going to be an early scout. Okay, so a Barracks opening and a workshop opening as well as an early scout from our opponent. So people who do early scouts, especially the ones that go across the map, first one that comes to mind is Steveinator. So this might be Steveinator, I might be wrong. But yeah, Steveinator usually does this, so that's my initial guess for now. I'm gonna start working on the worker. And Ensiferal correctly pulls 2 workers. One thing you could do is if you think you're getting close to killing it, you might be able to micro your worker across closer. He had 1 shot away, right? So if he had microed his worker across to this side while he was attacking, he might have been able to get it. He probably would have actually. So that's a bit of a, something small that he could do next time around. But yeah, could have been a easy early worker pick. But yeah, looks like we're gonna go into some standard play. A Raider opening from our red player, and Gatlings, and probably an expansion from Ensiferal. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that correct, but looks like it's gonna be 2 Raiders into castle. So this is not the ideal castle placement, but I guess since he put his workshop here, it kind of has to do. If you put this castle one up like this, and this workshop up another one, another hex like this, then you have a 2x2 or a 2 space entrance, and also your worker is safe from like things going around. So in this case, the Raider would be able to go around to deal some damage. Yeah, so a little bit slow on the repair or the pulling of the workers. Oh, that dying is actually pretty big. Not the greatest micro from Ensiferal. And the Raider escapes when the Gatling comes out. So yeah, a good start for our red player. And like I said, natural coming on the way, as it should. Overall, some solid gameplay so far. I feel like he could have went for that worker, and then you would have been fine. I think you could have gone for that worker as well. You have this blink out over here, the flash out on this side, so yeah, overall, playing it safe, I find that's okay. Definitely could have been a little bit more greedy, I think I would have, but and he's gonna see the tower, and honestly, our guest is gonna be really happy, content to go back and take a quick third probably if it were me. So, yeah, overall a great start for our red player, forcing out a tower, killing a Gatling gun. Could have been better for sure, but still definitely a solid start to the game. And yeah. And as I say that, like I said, a quick third seems to be on the menu for our red player. I love this. This is exactly how I would play. If you see that tower coming out, then that's 130 minerals or 130 gold that isn't being used for anything. So was floating a little bit. I guess he was busy. Did he get another? Yeah, he did get another Gatling. Well done. So taking out another Gatling, getting a quick third. This is looking amazing. This is looking absolutely great for our red player. Yeah. So I think this is great. So far, so good. So I'm really interested to see what they're gonna do next. What I like to do is go for a advanced workshop, especially because it wards off drops really quick, really well. Also, there's also the potential for gyrocraft. So yeah, I think that's just the overall safe play. Ideally, you do with these raiders, you want to start, flashing over, trying to get a scout on what's his tech building. In this case, it's going to be an advanced workshop. It's a little bit late, but yeah, ideally, as a red player, you do want to be able to scout that. But he is going to go for a barracks. These workers are... I kind of want to go back and see that, but I feel like what happened is they they transferred the workers a little bit early, so they kept them near the base. I think that's pretty good. It could be a mistake, but I think overall it was like... Okay, it could be a mistake in the sense that they were supposed to click on the gold mine, but they didn't. They just only noticed it really recently. Or it could be that they noticed that they transferred their workers really quickly, so they clicked on the castle to wait. Either way, not a huge issue. What happened to the other raider? Did it die? I thought there were 4 raiders. Yeah, it looks like it died. Did it die while getting a scout, maybe? Or did it just die to a tower or something? I don't know, let's check the vision. Okay, probably just died to whatever. But a little bit sloppy, but that's okay. It happens. Now, seeing the second workshop probably means it's going to be some sort of a push. So I think, if you want to be extra safe, you can get a workshop of your own, or just putting down some more production buildings, maybe even getting a tower at the front. Could be options. I would like to see that. Another thing is that these raiders, once there's like a tower up, you ideally want like one of them here to spot out any sort of flying units, and one at the main to just see, keep track of the army movements, if they're gonna move out, or if they're gonna fly in with a dropship, an airship, or a gyro or something. Ideally, that's what you want to do. But just taking them all 3 at once, that's fine too. Yeah. Well, they might be able to pick up a unit or 2, but no, just gonna skedaddle around. Yeah, so once he sees this like 5 catapults, I feel like he should know that there's gonna be some sort of a push. So I wonder how they're gonna prepare for that. Some houses over here. They're not bad. I feel like you could put them a little bit more further out. Maybe one over here, just to have a little bit of an early warning mechanism, so you can see it on the mini-map. And yeah, this move out, if these raiders were spread a little bit more better, like I said, they would have been able to see it and definitely be able to react accordingly. So this fourth is actually pretty greedy. I would not recommend if you haven't seen a third. And also, missing this entire movement is kind of really unfortunate. But he does have a fairly sizable army. Might be able to defend. He probably will, actually. These raiders cutting off reinforcements. Hopefully it doesn't die to the tower, but it looks like it may. We have this fight over here. These soldiers, bring them in, nice. And yeah, so a little bit of 4 micro from Interferal. He's gonna get surrounded and gonna get cleaned up. This is an excellent fight. Absolutely amazing. 5 or 6 catapults for literally like an archer or 2. Maybe a soldier. Losing these 3 raiders is not ideal, but still, this is an excellent position and is able to have that 4th up in time. Something that obviously was a little bit greedy, but works out in this case, so who am I to judge, I guess. Interferal trying to do a little bit of micro. I respect it. Not bad. Definitely could have gone that, honestly. Yeah. So, excellent. Holds the push really easily. Could have been definitely much worse, and has a 4th up. This is looking amazing. Yeah, so Forge is going to come up. Yeah, this is just a commanding position for our red player. I would like to see a counter push, which he looks like he's going to do. I like that, I like that. On the other hand, Interferal is going to come back and repair his wounded mech units. Yeah, this is looking amazing. I love it. Other than this quick 4th and a little bit of raider positioning, this is pretty much a flawless game from our red player. Excellent, excellent. Yeah, so it's gonna look like we're gonna delay this third for as long as possible. I would like to see like spreading out the unit here and the unit here just in case. That's a big shot, a little bit unfortunate. So one thing you want to do is you want to delay it, but you also don't want to lose your army. If you do lose your army, it's gonna be you're gonna lose map control. This is not good actually. I don't think he'll be able to cancel it. Maybe he will. You're losing too much, honestly. Like, this is very juicy, I see that, but losing his entire army and not denying it, that's actually gotta sting. It's a bit of a, I guess, a reset. But, you know, it's okay. Still, overall, really, still really far ahead. This is something I don't like. We're having an +1 armor rather than +1 attack. But when playing against mech, you really do not want to get. You want to prioritize your armor. Sorry, you don't want to prioritize your armor. You want to get your attack upgrades, especially because catapults. Well, Gatling guns first, they have the armor penetration, which means that unless you have 5 or more armor, it's literally going to be nothing. It's going to be useless. As for the catapults, it has like 58 base damage, and if you get 1 extra armor, that's only 57. Not really worth it. You definitely want to get the attack upgrades first. Gonna go for a 5th as well. Pretty greedy, but I like it. I like it. Got some gyros, double mill, I believe. Yep, from Encephalon. Not the best SimCity here, but that's okay. Yeah, we have a 3rd workshop coming up, as well as a 2nd forge for our blue player. These gyros, I feel like they could be being a bit more active, but yeah. Gyros and dragons, you definitely want to be super active with them, trying to get a little bit of damage here and there, and that sort of things really adds up. This is not a great fight. This is going to be a whole bunch of units dying for free. Yeah, that is not good. What are you going to kill? Maybe 2 catapults for your entire army? That is not good. That is really not good. This is like even worse than the previous fight. Actually, no. The previous fight was worse because you lost your entire army for free. But okay, so this is something you do not want to be doing. Some gyros are going across the map. But yeah, this is not something you want to be doing. You have the lead. I do like the expanding, but like walking into a line and like, yeah. So not the best. Ideally, what you want to do is deny the 4th, deny further bases, and like posture around there. So like when he starts to move out, you get like a big surround. Let's say you see the army moving out here, then you surround from like 1, 2, 3, 4 different angles, and then you go for a big flank. You know, destroy his army. That's ideally what you want. You do not want to be pushing into his army and losing your entire army for free. These gyros have been doing a little bit of harassment. One of them looks like they went down. There's a ballista. I'm gonna ward them off. Good awareness to Q fire on those. Explosive shot. Well done, well done. This archer, you know, I like that. You do want to do that to make sure they don't get a 4th for free without you noticing. Yeah. What I would also like to see is some sort of tech behind it. Behind this, so either mages or, you know, workshops of your own, or even priests, honestly, for invisibility. That would be good. Oh, that's gonna be, oh, that's painful. Oh no. Yeah, that is a big lip. That's like 10 supply of units for absolutely free. How many barracks does our player have? 6? Yeah, 6. I feel like you could go up to like even like 8 or 9, honestly, when you're on 5 bases, but yeah, so this is one of the things. A lot of people who play Racks are really frustrated when they play against mech because they keep on losing these big fights. And honestly, the reason is you just don't have a good fight. You just have to see. Look at that. You lost like 3, 4, 5. Look at that. Losing your entire army to kill. Let's see, 2 catapults. That is not ideal. You want to do stuff like get airships and drop on top of them, surround from multiple angles. You know, really good mech players will counter that with like building, bringing workers. You know, building impromptu, what's it called? Impromptu walls with workshops and stuff like that. Rhinus especially really does that well. But yeah, so that entire army was basically traded out for 2 catapults, which is obviously not ideal. The armor, of course, is not helping. Yeah, so this is the sort of thing where people who play Racks will be like, "Oh, it's so imbalanced," you know. I really have a big lead in the early game, and then he just walks across with his one army and then kills me. But yeah, you definitely need to be a lot more careful, a lot more. You have to set up your engagements, let's say. Yeah. You want to go for 60 surrounds. You want to go for, yeah, exactly like this. Drops. You can pull all your workers, pull these workers, go for a big surround on this army, and then you should be able to clean it up. One thing is that when you do fights like this, what happens is that the catapults, unless they're micro, they will initially target the first unit that they see, and if that first unit that they see is like in the middle of their pack, they'll all shoot on that, and stuff like that. So getting really good engagement, setting up engagements is super important when playing against mech armies. And in this case, look at that. Excellent fight. Entire army decimated, and yeah, things are looking kind of even, maybe a little bit better for our red player once this army has been cleaned up. If you are a Racks or a mech player, you do want to ideally send some workers with you with this sort of push to, you know, help repair. This is once again not the best fight, but it gets the job done. You know, picking off these few isolated catapults is always great. Well done over there. And Sephiroth has taken this 4th and also going for a 5th at the same time. That is a bit of a poor fight. I would like to see, because Encephalon is pushing on this left-hand side a lot. Maybe if you had the spare cash, you could have went for this one. These additional barracks are really good as well. I like that, but one little thing is that if you're playing against mech, you do not want to like have congested things. You want to have big, open, wide areas. So the placement of these could be better. What I like to do against mech is like put them all in like a corner on the edge. I think that would be better. But yeah, that's a small thing. Dropping on top, good as usual. These catapults were attacking an invisible tower, as in the tower was there and it was killed, but because they didn't have vision, they still thought it was there and started attacking, continued attacking, excuse me. Yeah, so a pretty good fight over here. Notice how half of these catapults aren't actually attacking. For example, this one isn't attacking. It's because the initial unit that it locked onto probably went within minimum range. So if you are playing mech, you want to be able to re-attack move your catapults that are close to the front line every so often, just to make sure they're actually firing. Yeah, some stuff like that. Getting the space, I like it. Retaking the space, I like it. This is good. One little thing is having spotter soldiers, archers on this side would have delayed these castles a little bit better. But you know, he was busy dealing with the big push, so I don't blame them too much for that. Yeah. All right, let's get into the guessing game a little bit more instead of just commentating. That's a lot of work. Okay, 12 might be a bit too much, but maybe 8 or 9 is good. But it's fine. Let's get into the guessing game a little bit more. Who is this player? I want to say it is Steveinator. Well, actually, Steveinator would have gotten more workshops, I feel like. But the early scout really made me feel like it was. The level of play definitely feels around the same level as well. Yeah. Soldiers picking off catapults. Ballista doing a lot of damage. Yeah, our red player has been actually pretty consistent with the explosive shot ballistas, which is nice. Well done. Making sure to get them off. Some people, they like get research explosive shot and then they just forget to use it within fights, so it's kind of like a wasted upgrade. But it really is really powerful. The splash damage is huge because air units tend to clump up. So yeah, I love it. So not like the best play, but I do think it is very solid. Yeah, so things to... I don't know who does this, but... I feel like someone like ItzJ would have been, or like Weird Rat would have been a lot more cognate of the building placement, so this definitely feels like Steveinator-ish. But I don't know. I do like this soldier run by. I think it must have been like just a scout to see if they had the base, but this is great. I like it. There's not much presence on this side, but that's fine. It's okay. It happens. And definitely one of the things is that once you get into the later stages of the game, you do want to do some sort of transition. Mages or priests or workshops, anything, even going into surprise dragons, something like that would have definitely been great, but just solid Rex style is fine too. We have some workers trying to take this expansion. Kind of funny. Yeah, so I feel like overall, very solid, pretty solid gameplay. Yeah, there's not much. What else is there to say? This sort of watchtower placement kind of looks like mine in a way. I like it. And Sipharel doesn't really do cata drops, which is unfortunate. Cata drops super powerful. A moment of inattention and you lose an entire mineral line, like 10 workers for free. So would have liked to see that. Oh, this is well done, pulling your workers away. Counter-attacking on the other side, I like it. Must have seen that beforehand, which is really good. Yeah, I'm gonna take out this tower. Gonna do some damage with the army. One thing, if you are playing mech, Simpsy is super important. So if you had this tower, instead of it being here, maybe it was here, and you could hold position workers, would have been a lot better. Or even better, tower with like workshops to defend it. Yeah, so SimCity is super important with mech. So things like that definitely you want to look into. I love this. Just a run by with a handful of units, gonna take down the tower, gonna take down some more workers, deny that base as well. Gonna take out this base, well done, and just move back. He does have this army here, but should be able to be cleaned up relatively quickly, relatively easily. That airship dies. Yes, overall really solid play. So some big things, I guess, overarching things that you can change and make your gameplay against mech a little bit easier, a little bit better, is going for the attack upgrade over the armor upgrade, and then setting up fights a little bit better instead of just walking into them. Two, I guess, major things that could be changed and would definitely elevate your gameplay to the next level. Is he going to take this base as well? I love it. You know, if you're going to lose a space, why not just take another? Yeah. Good. Excellent. I like it. So this army can definitely be cleaned up with, you know, a handful of work units. Yeah, by this time it's kind of game over. It's going to be running out of mining over here soon, so effectively only on like 2 bases. He's not even mining from that, so 1 base. He probably only has like, what, 10 workers? Something like that? 9 workers, yeah. And then, yeah, it's overall a really solid game. He had a really good early lead in the beginning. Gonna clean it up. A few fights that weren't really good, but other than that, just well done. Expanding well. Macroing pretty well. Yeah. Well played by our guest. Yeah. I think I'll just fast forward to the end of the game, I feel like. Unless something really big happens, I feel like this push is just going to go across the map and it's going to be game over. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's go back. Let's see what happened. We had early scout. This really makes me feel Steveinator, because Steveinator is probably the only one who consistently does worker scout across the map. Um, and then we had some raiders. The raiders got a lot of value initially. Took out like 2 Gatling guns for free, I believe. Damaged some workers. I could have been a little bit more greedy with them, but it's fair enough. Play safe. And also got like a tower here. Forced out a tower. And then instantly, upon seeing the tower, quick third base. Excellent. Great play. I love it. One thing that was a little bit, lacking is a little bit of scouting. Could have seen the tech building a little bit quicker. I don't think he actually saw it, actually, now that I think about it. But could have used the raiders to check which tech building it is, so that you're not blindsided by, like, a double mill, for example. Something tricky like that. And then also having the raiders in ideal positions like here, here, and here, like I said, to check the third base timing, check for any move-outs, big pushes, and also check for any flying units, gyros, airships, stuff like that. So small things that could be better, but overall well done. We had a bit of a unfortunate push out over here. I think the whole army got destroyed without killing the castle, so that was really unfortunate, which kind of reset the thing. And then later on, he went for a big push and then basically killed nothing. That was also a big mistake. Kind of tipping the favors back into Encephal's side. But the quick fourth did make up for it, and overall was able to take, a few poor fights here, but then later on was able to take a really good fight and clean it up. So well done. And then from there, just some good solid macro play. I would have liked to see, like I said, mages or some sort of tech, but soldier archer is still fine. Getting armor upgrades, obviously not ideal, like I said, but you do want to prioritize the attack upgrades. But yeah, overall, pretty high level. I'm pretty confident in my guess this time, especially that worker scout, which pretty much gave it away at the beginning stages of the game. But the only thing that tells me it might not be Steveinator is there are no workshops, and Steveinator likes to go for a bit of a mech transition after 3-4 bases. But yeah, I'm pretty confident in my guess of Steveinator. Who do you think it is? We'll see next episode. If you want to submit a replay, check out the link in the description below, and we'll see you next time.